The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your hosts, Barry Church, Danny McCray, Heckma Harrison, and Newey Scruggs.
Here we go, Players Lounge. It's a Monday, and it is a Monday where you can overreact. It's a Monday where you can be frustrated. It's a Monday where you can be a whole lot of ways. The Cowboys are now second place in the NFC East with a 10-4 record after getting obliterated, 31-10 in Buffalo. Players Lounge brought to you by Tostitos. We got Heckma Harrison is here. Danny McCray's here. Barry Church is out this week doing things. And
in his favorite place.
Merry Christmas to the church family.
Yeah, family trips, man. Have a good time out there. I'm glad you don't have to be here to deal with this foolishness that we had to watch yesterday. But we'll talk about it.
Be like that, man.
It was foolishness.
266 yards of rushing.
Yes, sir.
That is the top story for me. The second thing is the penalties. Guys, they're the most penalized team in the National Football League. It hasn't stopped. The penalties they had, extended drives, they were good. Yesterday, Buffalo they were good. And you gave them, more opportunities, and they beat you solidly. This was a cream. Puff just beat them down. They're like Bud Crawford. We're going to beat you up, send you home beat up. And there's nothing that you can say, in my opinion, to make this thing look good. It was bad. Bad, man.
Danny, come on, man. Oh, you just gonna give me first out. You gonna let me go and get mine out the way.
Go ahead, bro.
You know what? You no lies told, and everything that you said. You started off last week when we went to what were our issues in this matchup, and the new way you started with penalties. You didn't even talk about what you thought may be our ace in the hole to get a win. It was we got to stop the penalties, and finally we saw on 3 particular drives. Penalties, extend drives, and get us down 21-3 in the first half. We did ourselves no service in that manner as far as the penalties, and it seems to be the same guys around the penalty flag every time. It's crazy how that happens, right? Never in the accident, but always around the accident, right? So call them Kaiser Sose. You're a usual suspect.
They find you. they seem to find you.
It just happens that way. I don't know how, but every time there's trouble, you're near it.
Goodness.
And I tell you what, man, you start to ask yourself questions about this defense, and that's where, for me, that was the most shocking thing. The defense not making tackles, the defense making bonehead plays. The same thing that you were talking about last week as far as the TE stunts and the way that you played and not leaving those gaping holes on the back end open for running backs to run through. You go into Buffalo and you do the exact thing that you knew last week would get you beat. You do it this week. Mm-hmm. And we talked a lot about James Cook, and I don't think a lot of people really knew about James Cook, but you know his name now. And it was going to be on our linebackers. What were our linebackers going to do? And, Danny, I can't wait to hear your take on guys like Marquise Bell and Damone Clark, because we knew that they were going to have their work cut out for them. I don't adjust your headset now, but you knew they were going to have their work cut out for them, and you saw Buffalo game plan to put our linebackers in bad positions, and they did it the entire game.
Yeah. It was a very tough game to watch, and even more difficult to rewatch from the end zone perspective, right? Because as I'm watching the game, I'm thinking, man, this D-line is struggling. Like, okay, because that's naturally when somebody's running the ball against you like that, and how the Cowboys have been set up, right? You go draft a guy in the first round, D-line has been struggling. We're trying to figure out a way to stop the San Francisco type running attack, and you say, okay, man, the D-line just not showing up. And then you go watch the All-22, you watch from the end zone view, and you say, wait, hold on. They didn't play great, but I'm looking at the linebackers and the safeties of, hey, man, are we a gap-sound defense? Because, as I'm watching it, I'm saying, all right, maybe we got bullied, right? That's the thing, man. They came out here and they just ran up and down the field. They bullied you, right? You couldn't hold point, whatever. And I'm watching the tape, and I'm like, no, we're out of position. so many times the same problems that we had against San Francisco, pulling guards, pulling tackles. We're late on reading those, right? You're having two guys in the same gap multiple times. Hey, if the guard pulls, the A gap moves, right? So now if you don't go over the top, it's two guys in the A gap, and on the opposite side of the ball, you don't have enough, and you saw it over and over and over again. First quarter, they ran to the bubble the entire first quarter, which is where you have the B gap open.
Yes.
For those who don't know what the bubble is, they just continue just running straight to the bubble every time. 1-4 was over there. Micah Parsons over. It didn't matter. It just continued running to the bubble, and then Dan Quinn tried to make some adjustments, and then they figured out a way to run away from the bubble to the bubble. They just started pulling guards and tackles, and we couldn't find a way to fit it. And I think, to me, that was the story of the game for the defense. It was, hey, man, if you're not going to show us that you figured out how to stop what San Francisco did to you, we're going to come in here, we're just going to make sure we do it over and over and over again. And all through the week, I talked to y'all about Joe Brady, right, and calling this offense. Now he wants to run the football. And I just went back and I'm like, you know what? I remember watching LSU in 2019. I remember why Clyde Edwards-Helaire got drafted in the first round, because he found ways to utilize this guy running the football and out of the backfield. And now you got Cook out here who's doing the exact same thing. That is the story of this defense. Safeties didn't play well. Linebackers did not play well. You didn't even give your secondary a chance to get out there and make any plays because they didn't have to. This is the second time we've given up 200 yards rushing. Like, we are building the team to stop teams like this and San Francisco from being able to put us out of the playoff race. And that game right there just makes you feel like we're not not even a step closer to being able to handle that, specifically on the road.
So San Francisco, 170 yards of rushing on the Cowboys. Arizona, 222 yards of rushing on the Cowboys. And Buffalo, 266 yards. If you want to beat the Cowboys, do what you said. Run. Just run right there. So that's one thing. And then watch them commit a bunch of penalties and shoot themselves in the foot. There you go.
And you saw, last weekend, you saw Nick Bosa in front of his locker telling Cowboy fans, like, hey, you want to beat Philly? We're giving you the blueprint on how to do it. Nobody from Buffalo went out and said that, but like you just said, they're showing you, they're giving you a blueprint on this is how you do it. And the same theme in that San Francisco game, same thing in that Arizona game is blockers being able to get to the second level. Our defensive line, I don't know how big the Hankins injury is, but it looked significant yesterday with the way that Mozzie Smith was playing in the middle. We couldn't find an answer to them in the running game, whether it's the bubble, whether it's the tackle coming all the way backside and cracking back on these guys. They couldn't figure it out. And for some reason, Dan Quinn has gotten away with it with playing Marquise Bell out of position because, look, he's a lot faster than people give him credit for, and he can just kind of run around the block. But when he has pressure on him, there is nothing he can do. And Damone Clark, to me, is like, I never looked at him as being undersized. I know he's a big guy, but when you're just getting scooped out of the middle, you're just getting scooped out of the middle. You're not giving yourself an opportunity either. But I just got to say, like, when I see like a Jaron Curse, there's a play, James Cook is coming to, is basically to that side, basically scream to that side, or basically a sweep to the wide side, and you see Jaron Curse coming up, but at the same time he takes a bad angle, and you see that multiple times when you one-on-one safety with a running back, and that's going to open the floodgates every time. And like, those are things that I'm pointing to you and asking, like, maybe Dan Quinn schematically may be wrong, but he can't be drawing it up that bad where you have an opportunity to get the stop and you just take a bad angle over and over and over again.
No, I'm telling you, it's guys not being gap sound, and I don't want to take anything because I don't know exactly how it is, right? But I know if you're playing to run as a defender, right, and Dan Quinn's scheme may be, okay, the first player that gets there has to hammer, which is they have to knock it back in and they have to make sure the ball doesn't get outside of them. Essentially setting the edge. Now, if the guy that's coming in to make the tackle on the inside is expecting you to set the edge and you don't, your angle is bad because now it has to change from you going inside shoulder to now having to bubble around and go outside. And if you watch that film, it happened over and over and over again.
So we're talking about the
where
same
somebody
thing.
expected for you to hammer the ball back in, and you were coming into the C gap, and then they stick their head in the C gap. Now you have to try to replace it to the D gap,
You're
and all of a
giving up
sudden the
contain.
edge is gone, right?
Okay.
Or somebody's crack blocking you on your outside shoulder. You're supposed to stay inside of it but fight, but you stick your head on the outside. Now the C gap's open, and it's over and over and over again. If you cut the fit, I'm telling you, it is all over the tape. Great thing about it is, okay, there's a chance for you to say, all right, all week we just gonna focus on run fits because that is what killed us in this game. Horrible thing about it is you've been dealing with this for years and you haven't figured out a way to handle teams that are going to make sure that you are sound when you're pulling guards and pulling tackles. The problem that I've seen with Damone Clark and Marquise Bell is they just late.
Mm-hmm.
So I won't say he's undersized, but if you're late and the lineman has a chance to get in position and you're still trying to figure out where you're supposed to be at, you're gonna look like that all the time.
You can't be both.
You can't be, right? I'm seeing them dropping into pass drops when it's a pulling guard and you're supposed to be going to the other side of the formation. That's how off they were in this game. And hopefully you can get that fixed because you got Miami and you got Detroit. And what we know about both of these teams is they can run the football. They can run the football. And, oh, yeah, by the way, in the playoffs, you're going to play teams, possibly on the road, that specialize in running the football. So, I mean, yeah, you got some work to do, man. Got some work to do.
Oh, Mostert, A-Chain coming up in South Florida. Yeah, it's a problem. It is a big problem. Coach Soul came from that Shanahan tree, so he's going to run the ball. They're committed to running the ball, and they have speed on the outside. The Cowboys have questions that they've got to get answered, and they've got to get some answers real quick because getting on the plane and go down to South Florida on Christmas Eve is coming up real quick. By the way, we were all wrong about this game except Barry Church.
And this is the day he's not here to gloat about it, which
Church
is crazy.
Picked the Bills 28-24. I went Dallas 24-23. Heckma, you went Dallas 17-14. Danny, you went Dallas 24-21. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
One thing about Church, when he pick against the Cowboys, he usually be right.
It's logical.
Yeah.
And so when we left here, that was when I got the whole weather change. It's gonna be rain. I'm like, oh, because we were already off the air. It was in the media mash that they were just in the locker room talking to Bucky and about how he's got all the gear, changing everything. It's like it's going to be bad. Like, oh boy. So
was it bad?
Not
from watching it on TV, it didn't look bad like the Carolina.
Not at the start, but then once they put it in the second quarter, started coming down, and then it was just okay. Mm-hmm. You can't throw. You're behind. You can't throw. We know you have to throw. It's raining, and it just wasn't fitting you. And look, this was the while it wasn't the cold Buffalo wanted, this was just as good. It's rainy weather. We got you down. You shooting yourself in the foot. You can't stop the run. We got you on the road. And I don't know about you guys, but I felt like once that third personal foul led to a touchdown, I'm like, man, they not only can you not beat them, you out here beating yourself.
Yeah.
This is done.
Yeah, you snake.
This is right. This is just done. Yeah. You can't beat them, and you're helping them. You can't win like this. For me, it's frustrating. It's just frustrating, and doggone it, man. I
You was upset with Sam.
Come on, man.
You was upset with Sam. Come on. But I think.
What we talking about? The same old folk, same people.
But listen, but before we get to special teams, I just want to. We all did sit in here, okay? I think all of us did, or most of us. I'm not sure who didn't. And we said, hey, listen. The keys to victory in this game is you want to make sure that you put everything on Josh Allen. All right, make Josh Allen beat you with his arm. Or whatever it is, make sure it's Josh Allen. If you don't, this is the type of game you're going to have. If you let these dudes come in here and run the football against you, you're going to have a very long day.
Well, it definitely wasn't on Josh Allen because he was 7 for 15.
He got the game ball.
He got the
game ball. Dude, go out there and run for 170. You get a game ball to the quarterback.
Yeah.
You heard what he said?
What he said? I saw the video.
Said was like, I felt like I got an A on a test, and I didn't do nothing.
He telling the truth.
Yeah, like why would you do?
I didn't do anything today. I mean, I just handed it all. I ran a couple times. I mean, it was easy for him. It was basically a laugher, is what Josh said. It was a laugher, and you know what? I'm fooled again. That's my fault. Fooled again. I went back here to the sheet of integrity. Back here at the beginning of the year, I had as a loss.
Yeah,
I had
you
this
flipped out.
I had, you know what? And this is what I had going down. So I had a win against Philly, then I had a loss at Buffalo, then I had a loss at Miami, I had a win against Washington, and a win against Detroit. So I mean, I right there, man, right there, I had 2 L's. I had 2 L's, man.
I got us at 11-5, right?
No, you must have 11-6.
My bad, 11-6. Because I had 12-5, I think. And
originally you went 12-5,
and then I think I switched that up.
So originally you went 12-5. Heckman, you went 13-4, and then Church and I were sitting here at 10-7. That's what originally, when the schedule first came out, that's what we were sitting at here. And then I changed mine to I think I went 12-5. But this game, the thoughts that I had before, I should have stayed with it, which was, this is a tough place to play.
That's
a tough place.
But that's up, like,
and then when we went off there, when I heard about the rain, I was like, man, this is bad, because I didn't like that sense of just the elements, because they like to throw. They're a throwing team.
Yeah.
Can't throw in that.
Well, they did the same thing in Philadelphia. Look at the game that they played against Philly. It was a wet, rainy game, and they still had a commitment to try and throw the ball. They tried to go with James Cook, and Philly did a better job of stopping James Cook than obviously we did. They didn't have to change their game plan because of the weather. They had already saw Brady, your boy Brady, the offense coordinator. He was just checking off like, oh, y'all not stopping that backside check. Y'all not stopping this outside run check. Oh, you're not getting any help over here for number 4 to check. Right. And as the game started to go, you started seeing certain things that they were doing where they're getting to the second level and nobody's even touching them. He's getting on that last TD run by James Cook.
The ugly one.
The ugly one. That was the whole game in one play. We could do nothing. Change the direction, head back the other way. There was nothing that we could do about them. And I'm telling you, it's like one of those games that I'm sure that nobody is wanting to sit in film study and see that one.
Well, you better. All right, you better.
That's a bad place to be.
You better cut that film on and say, "Hey, this is what happens when you do not stay in your gap. This is what happens when you are not gap sound." It makes it look like you went out there and got punched in the mouth. And essentially, to me, you are just out of position. Like, you are not playing disciplined football. As far as, hey man, we have to earn the right to rush the passer. True. It looked like you out here pass rushing on rundown. You know that they want to run the ball. They got 150 on you already.
And guys are running right by the running back.
Ain't no more pass rush. It's over. There's no more pass rush. All right, just put your head in your gap and make sure that if the ball comes to you, you there to make the play. Yeah. And they just couldn't figure out a way to get that done, which is like, are you just hard-headed, or it's something that you're just not going to be able to change? Because if not, you're going to have a rough next 2 games, because the 2 teams that you are about to play specialize, okay, in being able to run the football, and they both got 2 big-time weapons to be able to do it. Both of them.
Miami got 2.
But Detroit got 2. They got Gibbs and Montgomery.
Yeah.
They won't run the ball. Oh, by the way, they also have a top 5 receivers on each one of those squads.
Yes.
Oh,
and
don't forget the tight end.
Yeah, and the tight end.
I mean,
it don't get no easier.
You just, like, I understand you saying, hey man, you feel a way about it because the weather and how it may be. No, I did not expect us to come out and give up 200 yards plus rushing. And 170 plus the one player.
266.
The offense could come out and be a little shaky, but then I'm figuring, okay, both teams will kind of step up on defense and play a little bit better. I never would have expected our defense to come out and get that type of running performance up to Cook.
We trusted him.
I know. I still trust Dan Quinn. But I mean, goodness, that's something that We've been trying to figure it out.
Well,
for
that's
years,
trust right there. That's trust right there. You dug in.
I mean, listen, because the percentage of games that the defenses play well is still higher than the percentage that they've not been able to play as well. And even in the playoffs, we haven't blamed it on the defense not being able to do something against the 49ers. We're like, hey, where's the offense at this time? If you hold the 49ers to 21, 24 points, you assume that this is still going to be a close game because the defense kept you in it. So I'm still going to trust Dan Quinn in that aspect of like, it hasn't been the reason that we came out of it saying, oh man, well, yeah, we don't have no shot. It's the other side of the ball who I've been looking at and saying, okay, in the big time games we need Dak and Tony Pollard and CD Lamb to be able to show up in those situations and make those big time plays. So I still trust them, but it's a rough go, man. 200 plus rushing, man, multiple times in the season, and then a little under 200 against San Fran.
You're trending. Yeah. I mean, he's trending, and you look at the games that you just said the games that we lost. There's a common theme there.
Yeah, running.
Let's take a break. Let's
do it.
Now we get special teams and all that.
Dak Prescott in the MVP race. Let's get some thoughts on that.
Here we go.
With Heckman Harrison, Danny McCray. I'm New
Here we go.
Players Lounge brought to you by Tostitos right here on DallasCowboys.com radio.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
Hi, I'm Danny McCray, Dallas Cowboys alumni player here with Smoothie King. And Smoothie King wants to ask you, what's that sound? That's the sound of us magically transforming our smoothie bowls into 2 new decadent flavors. Dig into a cool acai or pitaya bowl, handcrafted with crunchy, purely Elizabeth granola, fresh strawberries, and finished with a velvety chocolate hazelnut drizzle. Perfect for breakfast, lunch, or anytime you want to munch. And that's the sound of you making them disappear. Smoothie bowls, now in 2 new decadent flavors. Only at Smoothie King, the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys.
To kick off the 2023 NFL season, Hugo Boss teamed up with the NFL and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection featuring hoodies, crews, t-shirts, polos, joggers, and more. The bold, unique apparel of the Boss NFL collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, at HugoBoss.com, and at Boss retail stores. #Be your own boss.
There is no I in Dallas. There is no I in Hart either. No I in Blue Star or in Lone Star for that matter. And there's no I in how about them Cowboys? Smirnoff knows there's no I in football. Football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks, home or away, we rally together, we cry together, and we always rally cry together because there's definitely no I in Cowboys fans. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Tis the season for youth football and dance camps presented by Invisalign. Don't miss your chance to learn from the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders and former NFL players at AT&T Stadium on December 22nd and 23rd. Celebrate the holidays with the Cowboys. Register today at dallascowboys.com/camps.
All right, it's your time of the year, Danny McCray. Camp time.
Yeah, man. Friday, Saturday, we ready. We ready. It's gonna be full too.
Did you send a message out about pickup time?
Did they get it? No, it's gonna be multiple emails going out. All right, I gotta go Christmas shopping after the camp, so make sure you come get your kids. But if you don't, I'll still be there because I'm a responsible human being and I want to make sure that your kid get home safely. So,
oh man,
it is what it is. But I would prefer you come get them on time.
Go to brunch. Danny got him.
No, don't go to brunch. Brunch over at 3. All right, make sure you close your tab out at 2:45.
Yeah, go to one of them brunch places where they close at 2. Right,
go early.
There you go. You've done it too. Dak Prescott, 21-34, 134 yards and an interception. No touchdown passes yesterday as the Cowboys go down 31-10 in Buffalo. They're now in second place with a 10-4 mark. Philadelphia takes on Seattle tonight on Monday Night Football.
Come on, Seattle.
Brock Purdy with a nice day for the 49ers. Christian McCaffrey with a nice day for the 49ers. So Dak Prescott's MVP candidacy took a massive hit yesterday. Massive hit, in my opinion.
You are correct. You are already on the Christian McCaffrey train about it. Okay, and what he did yesterday. No, listen, but like I said, we know it's a quarterback driven. Whatever. That performance definitely didn't help. Didn't help. Massive hit. But that's the thing about the NFL. You go out here and you do it against Miami, you do it against Detroit, then you're right back in it because Brock Purdy have a bad game or Christian McCaffrey. It's fluid.
It's fluid. That's it.
Fluid.
There you go.
It's fluid. So
fluid.
he has an opportunity to still go out there and do what he needs to do. But to me, that's the least of your worries at this point. You need to figure out how to finish the month out strong, the season out strong. Because at this point, where you 5 seed, looking at going on the road again,
New
probably
Orleans,
twice
Tampa.
back to back.
Yeah.
You need to figure out a way to make sure that your team is going to show up on the road and be able to play because you put yourself in position to have to go on the road to win a playoff game, multiple playoff games, probably throughout whatever run you plan on making to get to where Heckma, he just can't stop saying it.
Man, don't worry. It'll stop coming up.
Stop saying it.
Don't worry.
But yeah, no, that is rough. But I still think I think he has a shot. Like, this is the Dallas Cowboys. This is going to be primetime football. You're going to get 2 more opportunities to play against really good football teams to show that you deserve to be, in that MVP race. So opportunity still there.
You got 2 playoff teams right here coming up.
No, this
Division leaders.
Yeah, this is what your expectation, I think, in Dak was, okay, the defense doesn't have it. Can Dak make the plays to get us over the hump? There were opportunities in the game that you saw. One big play to Brandon Cook that didn't happen. You lay in that one, you're still on the runway for talking about the MVP conversation. I always thought from the beginning people were not sincere about this whole Dak MVP. They were just building him up to bring him right back down. And as soon as he has a bad game, they want to remind you, oh, this is bad Dak. This is Dak throwing an interception. He's misreading. Can he read? All these different things that guys like, won't even say their name on the show, but guys that repeatedly look at every mistake that these quarterbacks make. But when I look across at this whole MVP race, guys like Purdy, he's having a hell of a year. 4 touchdowns yesterday, 200 more than 250 yards. He's playing within the constructs of that offense, and whether you want to call him a game manager or whatever you want to call him, he's good enough at doing it that he does it well and at a high level. And that offense, when it's running, it looks like no one can beat it. Our offense yesterday, which to me I didn't see happening, because whether it was the rain, whatever it was, we just couldn't get any type of rhythm going yesterday. Once we got down and it was clear, like, look, we're 21-3 at half, we're going to have to let certain things about the running game go, all right, unless it's going to look like garbage time. But we have to get those connections between the tight end. We have to get the short running. And they were sitting on it. They were waiting. Buffalo, pretty much in that second half, we made their game plan easy for them because everything that our go-to, they were standing right in the gap. And there was no way that we could get any rhythm. There was no more continuity in Mike McCarthy's play calling, and there was nothing he was fooling the other defensive coordinator with.
Yeah, I think Dak was off a little bit yesterday. I think Buffalo did a good job of playing zone defense and taking away the specific routes that Dak and CD and Cooks and everybody that they had been being really successful on for the last 5 or 6 weeks. They said, hey, listen, we're going to make sure we're going to play zone, but we're going to lean our zone to the route concepts that you usually run. We're not just going to run the regular cover 3. We're going to say, we usually run seam. So instead of you being right here on the hash, we're going to get you 2 yards out and make sure you carry that and see if they have something else to be able to throw. And I think they played really good football when it came to taking away specifically what we like to do on offense. And then also with Dak being off a little bit, then the offensive line kind of struggling a little bit here and there. You lose Zach Martin. And it was just like the perfect storm for our offense. But I want to give Tony Pollard some credit because I thought that he was running the football really well.
Yeah.
Like what you expected to see out of Tony Pollard coming out of last year and into this year, a healthy Tony Pollard. I was like, oh, yeah, all right, here we go. 5, 6, 7 a pop.
Finishing runs.
I like to see it. So I want to give him a shout out. But, yeah, man, I think Buffalo offensively, defensively, and on special teams, Wow, not so much special. I mean, offensively and defensively, they had a really good game plan for what we had been doing really well over the last 5 to 6 weeks.
And Ed Oliver from Houston, Texas.
Yeah, Westfield High School. That's my school right there, dog. Shout out to
Ed
Westfield.
Oliver. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Ed Oliver. I mean, once he's up, we were talking about other guys, Vaughn and all those guys that they got going, but. Man, Ed, number 91 is a headache in the middle, and he is hard to deal with. Two people, one, didn't matter who was on him. He was just clogging up everything. We did a good job of maneuvering around him because he was not allowing us nothing early in the game.
All right.
Go ahead, man.
Contemplation.
Go ahead. I want to know what you thought about the offense.
I thought about the offense is this. You thought Sean McDermott had something for him last week? This week? Vic Fangio.
I can't wait to see Vic Fangio.
Who's the first
blueprint? That was the Kellen Moore. That was the Kellen Moore blueprint. That was the Kellen Moore blueprint.
Yeah.
And that blueprint then followed him all the way up to
That thing still working. They got that on scroll. They just scroll out the
They hang it up at all the restaurants and everything.
It's like on the back of his step, kick me. Blueprint.
Yeah, that blueprint is out. He ain't been the same since.
No,
all right?
man.
So yeah, but no, it's gonna be another tough one. It's gonna be another tough one because I think that Buffalo has
Ramsey,
now put it out
Howard.
there to show you, hey, listen, this is what they like to do. Make them do something else, all right? And we're gonna run our coverage, but it's gonna be it's got like customized, right? For your route concept. Rob Brown used to do it all the time. And he will be successful in taking away certain stuff that you really like to do and then force you to do other things. And that's what Buffalo did to us.
So you got Fangio on that, and then you got, Coach Soul, who was with them 2 years ago in the playoff game, the 49ers. I mean,
Coach Soul.
They ran. They just from the opening drive. They just ran, man. So, I mean, yeah.
Coach Soul go get it. He get fancy too, man. He try to get the style points, got the shades on. But you know what?
Christmas soul glow on him.
He is going to run the ball. You'd have to be stupid to come up against this Cowboys defense and not run the ball. The attention to detail on running the ball would be every single week. Like you just said, until y'all stop it, you're going to get a full dose of this every single week.
Down 21, run it. I'm never going to start running the ball.
Run it.
Never going to stop running it. No,
unbelievable.
Like why? Like why? But now, the thing is, it's not every run scheme. It's specific run schemes that the Cowboys have issues with. And until they figure out a way to cover up that and make sure that they can read pulling guards, read pulling tackles, make sure that they're gap sound when you have those issues. Because when you play against a team that runs straight zone, like it's easy, right? It's right in front of you. All right, I'm standing on the outside of this shoulder. When you start getting pulling guards and counters and all that, then it switches. It's like on the run, you got to be able to see, all right, my gap was here. He pulled. Now I got to get over the top. And if you're not, like I said, if you're not fast enough or accustomed to doing that, then you're having a hard time covering those runs.
All right, let's get a break here. We come back. Let's go over special teams, and we need to make our Monday night pick as the Philadelphia Eagles are at Seattle, and they've made some major changes in the coaching operation there in Philadelphia. Barry Church, Heckman Harrison, Newey Scruggs, Danny McCray. Yeah,
Church ain't here.
I just, but you know what? Church is just texting me his picks.
Yeah. He's not here though.
But I just got.
Go ahead and fix
Players
it.
Lounge, Church. Players Lounge. I hate you. Merry Christmas.
To kick off the 2023 NFL season, Hugo Boss teamed up with the NFL and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection featuring hoodies, crews, t-shirts, polos, joggers, and more. The bold, unique apparel of the Boss NFL collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, at HugoBoss.com, and at Boss retail stores. #Be your own boss.
Hi, I'm Danny McCray, Dallas Cowboys alumni player here with Smoothie King. And Smoothie King wants to ask you, what's that sound? That's the sound of us magically transforming our smoothie bowls into 2 new decadent flavors. Dig into a cool acai or pitaya bowl, handcrafted with crunchy, purely Elizabeth granola, fresh strawberries, and finished with a velvety chocolate hazelnut drizzle. Perfect for breakfast, lunch, or anytime you want to munch.
And that's the sound of you making them disappear. Smoothie Bowls, now in 2 new decadent flavors. Only at Smoothie King, the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Get a frame-worthy family holiday photo with Santa at the Star, presented by Monument Realty. Santa Claus will be at his cowboy-themed cottage in the Star District through December 24th. Visit thestardistrict.com/Santa for more information.
I had a bad week last week, huh?
Well, so checking it right here just to go through it. So,
but you can't.
We Danny, you had Dallas. Heck, you had Dallas. I had Dallas. Church came through on that. The Charger game, I had Vegas. Church had Vegas. Heckma, you had Vegas. Danny, I don't know why you went with Kellen Moore and company.
Well, I thought Eckler was going to get some carries, and of course he didn't. Of course, why? Why would you give? Why would you give Eckler some carries?
He fooled himself.
Right.
Too smart.
Cincinnati at Minnesota. Everybody went with Cincinnati. Everybody came out a winner here. Denver at Detroit. I had Detroit winning. Church had Detroit winning. Heckma, you went with Denver. What? Danny, you went with Denver. Houston at Tennessee. We all took Tennessee.
Nah, I was with Houston.
Everybody lost. Heckma, I got it right here on the sheet of integrity where you changed it.
No. Tennessee wrong for that. They didn't. Man, they wasn't. Houston didn't have a quarterback, top receiver, nothing. Went out there.
Them wore the uniform.
So disrespectful.
Just wore the uniform.
That's petty, though.
And then, of course, we all took Baltimore against Duval. Everybody won there. So, yeah, man, rough. But, hey, you can go ahead and make a bounce back right here as it is a Philadelphia Monday night special at Seattle. Philly favored by 3.5. Geno Smith may not play. Jalen Hurts may play. He's not 100%. Flew separate from the team. The Eagles have demoted their defensive coordinator. He's not going to be up in the booth, not calling plays. He's not calling plays. Matt Patricia, the savior, he'll be calling plays on the sidelines. Give me Seattle, 24-21, desperate up there in the Emerald City. Barry Church has Philadelphia winning at 24-17. Heckma Harrison, what you got?
Man, that is crazy. Could it be at the end of the season that Philly lose both their offense and defensive coordinator in one season? After losing their offensive and defensive coordinator, that would be cold-blooded. But I'm gonna go with Philly on this one. I'm gonna go Philly. I'm gonna go Philly 21-15.
In the spirit of my fantasy football team, okay, I'm going on Newey side, okay, over there.
Okay. You going Seattle?
7-9.
7-9.
What? I'm kidding. 21-24. I'm going straight. Everything new we got. Goodness gracious. It makes me a loser. Yeah. That makes me a loser. 24-21 makes me a loser unless Swift get every yard.
If it's just Gainwell, Swift, and everybody just run it in there.
21-24 Seattle Seahawks.
All right, there we go. So we're good on that here. Special teams, yeah, Sam Williams. Yeah. Brandon Aubrey, good for you. Made a field goal. So he is He made a 32-yarder, extending his NFL record for most field goals made without a miss to start a career to 31 consecutive field goals. He also leads the NFL with 133 points, and he could become the first rookie to lead the league in scoring since Mason Crosby did it in 2007, and that's when he was coached by Mike McCarthy.
Shout out to Aubrey. And I remember, man, maybe 5 or 6 weeks ago, I was sitting on this show giving Sam Williams a lot of credit for being able to go out there at the gunner at his size and make those plays. And Sam has blocked the punt already this season.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know Bones Fossil goes out there and he teaches them how to properly.
He lays the pad out for you to jump across it. And
this is
all of that.
This is OTA stuff. All right, this is every day at training camp. This is what we're going to do to start it off because we always start with the basics. This is how you do blocking punts, and my man did everything you could possibly do wrong. Everything. Lead a feed. Hands spread out, not running through, like everything that you would, all the X's, you know, you have those posters and it's like don't, and then do, or when you get to instructions, he did all the don'ts on that. And I'm saying, you got a chance to really change
impact the game, yes,
there in a positive way. And instead, because you did not do what you were, because that's type of stuff that get coaches fired. Like, not Fossil, I'm not saying that, but like, oh man, this dude he not coached well. No, they told you how to do it, okay? But for some reason, you went out there and you lost your mind when you got through there, maybe too excited, whatever it was, and then not only did that happen, then you missed it. All right, at least if you're gonna do all that wrong and you still in position to make the play, just go out.
Then you ran the ball.
You ran them, you know, and then they
do all that, jump through, miss him, then just pow, run him over. First down the other way. Touchdown. Game over.
But see, an unfortunate part about that is when you play special teams and that has become like what you have been known for now because you did block a punt and you playing gunner, it erases all the other good stuff that you've done in people's minds. Like you can still be a really good special team player and then you see that and then the game ends the way that it ends and you say that is a turning point in the game. Then people, like they have a tendency to forget that, oh, this dude also made some really good plays on there, but that is one of the worst punt block opportunities missed that I've seen since I've been watching football, and maybe because of the Cowboys and how we got beat, but that was bad.
But no, I just got to say, like, you see the good teams make those plays. You see the good teams not make the boneheaded plays to extend drives. You see the good teams doing all the right things. That's a winning attitude, and I think for where we're trying to get to, it's that part of the evaluation of the game that you have to return to and say, look, we had an opportunity right here had we made that play. And it's just that it's that kind of stuff when you go back to San Francisco, you go back through all of those road losses, there were opportunities that we didn't take advantage of. There was a conversation going on between Mike McCarthy and Bones Fossil right after that play. Mm-hmm. And I swear to God, I wish I was just a fly on the wall just to hear what that conversation could have been because like you said, people get fired for doing stuff like that. That's one of those things like that. Does he know better?
And Fossil saw something to call it. So, you know, he saw something and you know, and they almost had another one.
Listen, and that's the thing, though. That's the thing about a guy like Sam Williams. It wasn't even a special call. He was rushing over the center in that left A-gap, and it was him using his pass rush move, which you usually don't see guys with that type of talent on a punt rush team. But you see a guy like Sam Williams who is accustomed to rushing the passer, and he's over the center, and he literally just olays him and gets straight through the same way he did on the last one. And when you're looking at it, you say, listen, I have a guy who can make those type of plays. So what do you do next game? Do you tell him not to rush the punter? When you know that he has the talent to be able to put that type of pressure on a punt team to go make that type of play, it's
and then we know the statistics of what happens when you punt, when you block a punt. I mean, just your opportunities to win go up, but because it's like a doggone turnover.
Because he blocks that. That's a block and probably a touchdown. Because he made the play.
Yeah.
And just his technique at the end of it was just really bad technique. But you can't erase the fact that he was back there again in the position to make that play, which makes it like a very tough thing to do. Because you the special team coach, and you're like, well, wow, the really good is here, but then the really bad is, and I think the best thing about it is everybody on the team play bad. So what are you gonna say, right? You got Curse out here, you got D-Law out here, you got everybody playing bad. So
everybody collectively has to eat this one. Mike McCarthy coming up at 3:30, and one of the things I'm going to ask Mike today is about the penalties. Like, you're the most penalized team in the league, and you've told us before about fixing things and and no, man. This is who you are, and you cannot expect to go win playoff games on the road if you are going to have penalties like what we saw in Buffalo. And I want to hear what Mike has to say, because it's out of control. This is the culture of who you are. You're a team that's undisciplined, that will shoot themselves in the foot, and you can't beat anybody good like this. You just can't. I mean, you got the 49ers, 42 on you, 42-10. This is 31-10. And you're helping with bad penalties. Tyler Smith, love him. That's another drive killer penalty he had here. Where they weren't, it was like, dude, this ain't the time for that. Just like the Philadelphia game, 6-yard line, this ain't the time for that. They've got to fix this, and I want to know from the head coach, how come it hasn't been fixed? Why is this still happening? Yes, you've gone taking this team to the playoffs 3 straight years, but you're going to find yourselves out the playoffs in 1 or 2 games if you keep doing this, because it's going to be real hard to beat somebody on the road playing like this. All right, Heckman, thank you. Danny, thank you. We will see exactly what the Eagles have tonight. Chris Bean, Jazz, Big Will, Joshy, everybody who's a part of this here at DallasCowboys.com. We appreciate you. This has been the Players Lounge, brought to you by Tostitos. Talk to you tomorrow.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!